Hello, my name is Jerry Brown, and I'm being interviewed, because I'm a two-time state champion wrestler, for Anderson High School. And we'd have to go back, all the way back to 1961. That's when I started wrestling. It was 1961. I was in the 9th grade. This is the first time I ever wrestled. My friends, I was always getting in trouble, getting in fights and all that. And so I had a couple friends that was already on the wrestling team. And so they got a hold of me and asked me if I was interested in trying out for the wrestling team. And which I didn't know nothing about it, but I told them I'd try out. I'd come out and try out for it. And so when I went out and tried out for the wrestling team, they cleared the mat, and I went one-on-one with the varsity wrestler, the guy that was already on the varsity team. And I went one-on-one, and I beat him that night. And so I became the varsity wrestler for Anderson High School at 112 pounds. And for that first year, that was the 9th grade, the first year, I only lost twice. I got 3rd place in the state championship. I got 1st place at the North Central Conference. That was my first tournament. And I got 1st place at my North Central Conference. But I got 3rd place during my first year in the 9th grade. And then after that, in the 10th grade, I went undefeated. I won the sectional, I won the regional, I won the semi-state, I won the NCAA North Central Conference title. I was also the most valuable wrestler at the North Central Conference championship. That was 1962, and that's when I won my first state championship. And then in 1963, I also went undefeated. I got 1st in my sectional, my regional, my semi-state, and the North Central Conference. And I was also awarded the most valuable wrestler for the 2nd time at the North Central Conference tournament, which was a high honor. It was a very high honor to win it twice, 2 in a row. And I also won the state championship for my 2nd time at for Anderson High School at 112 pounds. So I was a 2-time state champion, and that was in 1963, 1961, and 1962, and 1963. That's what I wrestled. My final year, 1964, I couldn't wrestle because I had got in trouble in the 6th grade, and they set me back. They put me back. I had to start over because I was a trouble person back then, and they put me back in school. But anyway, I didn't wrestle my senior year, but that was 1964. So in 1964, I was working out the Delbo Remy. And during the summer of 1964, around June and July, one of my co-workers came up to me and asked me if I wanted to try out for the 1964 Olympics. And to me, I really hadn't even thought about it. Wasn't even on my mind or nothing, And so I, went back and thought about it and ended up trying out for the 1964 Olympics. Went down to Indianapolis the guy, he took me down there. I didn't know nothing about the AAU, you know, but he took me down there, and for that first night, I wrestled a couple of guys, and I beat them. And so I came back the following weekend, and I wrestled in the championship for the Indiana AAU championship, and I won that. I got first place in that, and I won the Indiana AAU state championship. All right, and so that qualified me to go to the regional United States Olympic tryout team, and that was in Chicago. It was in Chicago, Illinois, and me and a friend, I think it was Rudy Williams, me and a friend, he took me up to Chicago, and I wrestled in the Olympic tryouts. And first time I wrestled, I won my regional, I won my match, and I had to come back the next weekend. And so Anderson collected some money, and I flew back to Chicago and wrestled in Olympic tryouts, in the final Olympic tryouts in Chicago, and that qualified me, and I won that in Chicago. I won that meet. I beat the state champion from Illinois, and I beat the state champion from Ohio. And so that qualified me. So that made me the Midwest champion in the AAU. So that qualified me to go to New York and wrestle in the final Olympic tryouts. And this was the finals right here, you know, and it was at the New York World's Fair in New York City in 1964. You know, and that was the Olympic year. That was the time the Olympics was in Japan, I think it was. If I had qualified, I'd wrestled in Japan. But anyway, I wrestled 2 or 3 times in New York, and I won one, I won twice, and I lost twice. And so that got me probably the 4th place finish in New York. And although I didn't qualify, you know, I was high up on the totem pole in New York. Matter of fact, I was rated as one of the highest high school wrestlers in the United States, not only in Indiana, but in the United States. It was in the Indianapolis paper. They had picked me to really be on the Olympic team. That's how highly they thought of me, you know, back in 1964. You know, I was picked to be on the team. But anyway, I was one of the best high school wrestlers in the United States. But after that, you know, I got a full scholarship to Oklahoma State University, which was the #1 high school, which was the #1 wrestling school in college, Oklahoma State. And so I got, like I said, I got a full scholarship there. And I went there and I wrestled and practiced for about 6 months. And when wrestling season started, I left Oklahoma State because they didn't allow wrestling. Freshmen wasn't allowed to wrestle their first year. You know, so I left and went back to work in Delco Remy, and I made Delco Remy my career, and ended up being on skilled trades in Delco Remy, and ended up marrying my wife Sandra and raising a family with 3 kids. And that is my story. Jerry Brown, 2-time state champion, Indiana, and let me mention this, I was inducted in the Indiana Hall of Fame. Yes, I was. In 1979, I think it was. Yeah, I was inducted in the Indiana Hall of Fame, which is one of the greatest awards that you could get. you know. So yes, I am. I am not only a two-time state champion, I am an Indiana Hall of Famer. Thank you. Well, one of the challenges that I faced was school, you know, and that was one of the hardest, you know, is making the grades and making sure I didn't get in trouble, you know, staying out of trouble and everything. That was one of the main things to do. It was just an honor, you know, and what I really wanted to do, I was going to take wrestling as far as I could take it, you know. Since I was already undefeated in high school, I said, I'm going to wrestle as long as I can until somebody beat me, you know. And so that's what I done. You know, I went to Indianapolis, nobody beat me, so I kept wrestling. I went to Chicago, nobody beat me, so I kept wrestling. You know, I went to New York at the World's Fair, at the final Olympic tryouts, I finally got beat. Somebody finally beat me, you know. And so, you know, that's where I was really proud of what I was doing as long as I done it. You know, I went a long ways, yeah. Well, winning the state's championship for a second time, you know, that was special for me, you know. Going undefeated the whole year and winning the state championship, that was really a big honor right there. So that was a special moment. Since I worked on the Civil Rights Committee, I got a lot of people, I saved a lot of people's jobs, you know, not only at Delphorimi, but around Anderson and the area. And I would like to be remembered for fighting for equal justice, for civil rights.